Good morning, cyber friends. This is Mitty Man again, coming back at you from Walker's Music. Sunday morning word. I want to bring back something. I kind of got away from it a little while back, and I didn't mean to do it. And that is my third Sunday online Sunday school lesson. And I do it in memory because of the fact that I used to teach Sunday school on third Sunday when I was minister of music at Piney Grove. And so Pastor David Ham got me to teach the Sunday school as well on that third Sunday. So I kind of got used to doing Sunday school. So uh, after that I had this here little illness here back in February, I kind of got away from it for a little bit. But hopefully we'll get back to it starting today. In other words, we got a very good Sunday school today. In lieu of the way I used to do Sunday school at Piney Grove on third Sunday, yeah, lo and behold, I'm back again today. I'm in the Pathway book here. I just kind of briefly took a look at what was going on so I would know exactly where we were this morning in my home church. Talk about Jeremiah. And Jeremiah was a young man that God said in his word that he ordained him in the womb. Before he would even come out the womb, God had already ordained and sanctified him and set him aside to be a prophet. Not only a prophet to Judah at that particular time, which God knew they needed it, but he was a prophet to the nations as well. And Jeremiah didn't want to do it because, for whatever reason, I believe it was because of the fact he was so young. Our Sunday school says that perhaps he was too young and he thought there was nobody pay him any attention. That was number one. Then number two, Jeremiah knew the people that he was dealing with. Those was his people. And believe me, you know your own people. And Jesus said your own people sometimes is your worst enemy. That's where you're gonna have your most problem from. You're gonna get them from within your own hometown and with your own people. So we see here that Jeremiah was called. Jeremiah had a task that he had to tell the people of Judah that they had sinned. Y'all, let me tell you one of the reasons why they had to go into exile. God told them during the time of Joshua, and he said that they were supposed to keep a sabbatical year where they would work the land for 6 years, and then on the seventh year they were to let it rest. They were to take a Sabbath, a sabbatical. God told them that plain and clear. They refused to do it. And so for 490 years, they had not kept that Sabbath. They had not kept the Sabbath. So, God always gonna have his way. He said, okay, since y'all wouldn't keep the Sabbath by being in the land, I'm gonna have somebody to come get you and take you away a captive, take you out of this land, so my land can rest. And that's exactly what God did. And he told Jeremiah to tell him. Jeremiah was the one to tell him, you must go with Nebuchadnezzar. Oh yeah, Uncle Nebuchadnezzar came down there, and that Nebuchadnezzar, they burned the temple up, and they just destroyed the city, and they took all of them back captive. And they was in captivity in the nation of Babylon for 70 years. Why 70 years? Think about it. I just told you. 490 years they refused to keep the Sabbath. 70 years was the tenth, or you could say the tithe of that 490 years. Because they were supposed to keep 1 and 7. 1 and 7, they were supposed to keep it as a Sabbath to let the land rest, and they didn't do it for 490 years. So you take 7 and divide it by 400. Take 7 and divide that into 490. Take 7 and divide it into 490 and see what you come up with. 7 times 7 people is 49, right? So 7 times 70 is 490. That's the Sabbath. That's how come they stayed out in captivity for 70 years, because they refused to do the Lord's Sabbath and let his land rest. God is always going to have his way, people. You might as well just going to do it. Like Jonah. He told Jonah to go preach to Nineveh. Jonah did everything but that, so God didn't argue with him, so he just let him went on, and then all of a sudden, he sent him to Whale University. See, if we won't listen to God's word, we won't listen to his instruction or his word, he'll let trouble come our way. This is the way God works, and I have learned that the longer I live, the more I see it. And Jeremiah was ordained. In other words, just as I was ordained not too long ago back in May as a deacon, I was set aside, I was called, I was appointed. That's a duty, people. Not no glamour, but a duty. I got a duty now to do. In essence, it's sort of like Jeremiah. I was ordained as a deacon to do what is right in the eyesight of my God. Chosen and set aside as an elder of the church. I'm an elder now. Carries great responsibility, people. Not for you to go around the church with your chest stuck out like you something. No. We are servants of the Most High God. Set aside to do his will, to look after the welfare of the church, to assist the pastor. That's all we are. So Jeremiah, God told him, Jeremiah was scared. Jeremiah didn't want to do it. He said, I'm too young. God said, don't say you too young. Don't say that. In other words, God don't want us to keep on putting all these negative words in our mouth about what we can't do. And really, oh Lord, have mercy. I'm like that too when it comes to certain things. And I wished I was like that. But God got to work with me. I'm asking God to work with me still, to keep me humble and get me to the point where I can say, stop saying I can't do this and I can't do that. This is what I was having a problem with when I'm having with the choir. Teaching them new things and try to get them out the tradition and get them out the box. I can't do that. It's too hard. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. And I'm like, God, now don't say that. Stop saying you're too young. Stop saying it's too hard. Whatever you say, you're going to have what you say, people. That's the word of God. Oh, God, I wish I could be at Sunday school this morning with my home church. That's going to be a great, great Sunday school. And I'll tell you the truth, I could teach that thing if I had the time. But nevertheless, God was dealing with Jeremiah. I told him, don't say you're too young. Don't stop saying that. And I want you to go tell them. I want you to tell them that they must go with Nebuchadnezzar. They had to go with Uncle Nebuchadnezzar. Yes, I call him Uncle Nebuchadnezzar. I do that for a reason. In the word, he was a Gentile in a Gentile nation, and God used him at that particular time to serve his purpose and get his will to be done. God can use anybody, people. God can use anybody. Oh, yeah, for his purpose. So we need to learn that, and we need to stop giving God all these excuses. We got people right now, and I'm not judging anybody. God knows I will never judge nobody because I don't want to be judged myself. But I'm just saying the truth. We got a whole lot of us. We got these positions and things, but we don't want to do the work. But we want the title, but we don't want to do the work. And when the things get hard, we want to bail out. We'll let somebody else do the hard part, and we slide in after this thing is done. And then you're going to say what we did, but we ain't did nothing. You waited until it was done by others, and then you want to go in and step on the coattail of other people and get the credit. That's not right either. God is watching. And I'm going to say this, people, like Jeremiah told them that they was going to be captured and the city was going to be destroyed. And the temple. And it was just like Jeremiah said. But God told Jeremiah one thing that I'm going to, and I'm going to use this, especially after talking to my pastor the other day. I'm going to use that as a shield and a buckler for myself. When he said, do not fear their faces. Don't be afraid of their faces. I'm with you. I'm going to use that myself. You can't be afraid to do what is right. You must stand in the midst of the devil and hell himself. You must stand firm. Do not be afraid of their faces. God told Jeremiah that. I'm with you. So, if I know that God is with me, does that mean that I may not suffer? No. I may suffer some. Yes, I may suffer. A lot of it prophets did. Some of them killed. You know, my pastor said talking to me about Stephen. I said, yeah, Lord. I said, but Pastor. But Stephen was stoned. It was kind of comical, but nevertheless, I know what it means. We gonna be stoned by certain people, especially when they don't want to do what's right, and you stand for what's right. You're gonna be stoned a whole lot of time, but we must continue to stand. So, just as Jeremiah, I will I will take heed in the word that God gave him. Do not be afraid of their faces, for I am with you. It's gonna be a good Sunday school today, people. So those of you that can get out to the house of prayer, go on out there for the Sunday school lesson this morning and enjoy it, because it's gonna be a great one. This is me, the man, saying whatever you get into, if God ain't in it, it's best that you come out of it, because it's gonna come to nothing. Till the next video, next Bible study, whichever comes first. Peace and good day.